2020, and this week we are reviewing reporting category 3. So we're going to be talking about expressions, equations, and relationships, specifically looking at the geometric formulas for volume and the Pythagorean theorem. We're also going to be talking about surface area and the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So make sure, guys, you have your calculator and your reference chart with you. These are the formulas we're going to be using for this specific lesson. So if you have your formula chart, that's great. If you do not, you can jot these down, or you can find that formula chart whenever you're ready. You can keep going with this lesson. So we're going to just work through some volume problems today. The volume of the cylinder, I want you to write down the volume formula, plug in the radius and the height, and then plug that entire into your formula and then into your calculator. So press pause while you work out the problem, and then press play when you're ready to check your answer. Awesome. Okay, so the formula for the volume of a cylinder is V is equal to pi times radius squared times height. And radius squared times height is on that formula chart. The radius is 3, right up here. The height is 5. So you plug in, you can use 3.14. I would prefer you just use the pi button on your calculator. 3.14 times 3 times 5, or sorry, times 3 squared, which is 9, right? 3 squared is 9, not 6. It's not 3 times 2, it's 3 times 3. So 3.14 times 9 times 5 is approximately 141.3 cubic centimeters. If that is not what you got, make sure you identify your mistake, fix it, and then move forward. All right, Michael has a barrel in the pasture to keep water for his horse. The barrel is 4 feet tall with a diameter of 2 feet. What is the volume of the barrel? So I want you to start by writing that formula, plugging in your values, showing your work, plugging it all into your calculator, giving me your answer. And then I want you to tell me how many gallons of water the barrel can hold. Once you find that volume, then you can find how many gallons will be in that barrel. All right, so the barrel is a cylinder. So again, we're using volume is equal to pi times radius squared times height. So we've got our radius, pi is 3.14. Our radius is 1 foot. It says the diameter is 2 feet. So the radius is 1 foot. So 1 squared, 1 times 1, guys, is still 1. So 3.14 times 1 times 4 is 12.56 cubic feet is the volume of the barrel. So 12.56 is how many cubic feet we have. 1 cubic foot holds 7.5 gallons. So we're doing 12.56 times 7.5. The barrel will hold 94.2 gallons of water. Very interesting. Great job, guys. Okay, question number 3. I want you to find the volume of this cone. The radius of the cone is 6 meters and the height is 11 meters. What is the volume of the cone? Show your work. And then I want you to tell me if the radius of the cone is doubled, how has the volume changed? So press pause while you work this one out, and then press play to move forward. All right, so our volume formula is given to us. Volume of a cone is 1/3 times pi times radius squared times height. So we've got 1/3 times pi times our radius is 6, and our height is 11. Plug that all into your calculator. The volume of the cone is 414.48 cubic meters. All right, and now I want you to think very carefully about this other question. If the radius of the cone is doubled, how would the volume change? Okay, we might think that if the radius is doubled, that the volume is doubled, but that is incorrect. So let's really think this through. And to think this through, guys, you can work it out. So the new radius would be 12 meters, not 6 meters. So let's just rework that volume problem, and instead of 6, let's plug in 12. And that would give you 1,657.92 cubic meters. And you'll see that that is not double our original volume. That is actually quadrupled. So the new volume is 4 times greater than the original volume. So if you're ever given a question like that asks what would happen if a dimension was doubled, go ahead and double that dimension and work out the problem. Don't try to just look at it and assume, because we're talking about three-dimensional figures, so we're not really just doubling one thing, we're doubling multiple things. All right, number 4, the volume of the sphere. The formula is 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. So what is the volume of the sphere below? Press pause while you work out this quick question. Plug it all into your calculator. All right, so 4/3 times pi, 3.14 times, now be careful here, you cannot plug in 10, the radius is 5. The diameter is 10, so the radius is 5. Plug that all into your calculator and be sure you're doing an exponent of 3. It's 5 cubed, not 5 squared. The answer is 523.33 cubic feet. If that is not what you got, please take the time to plug that back into your calculator to make sure you can get to the right answer. Number 5, the radius of the sun is approximately 700,000 kilometers. What is the volume of the sun? Don't let this big number scare you. Work it out the same way you would do if the radius was 7, not 700,000. Do it the exact same way. Press pause and press play when you're ready. All right. So our volume of a sphere formula, again, is 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. So 4/3 times pi. Our radius is 700,000. Plug it into your calculator and you can do that. Now I went ahead and changed this answer to scientific notation because of all of the zeros there. So if you wrote that in standard form, which I'm sure you did because I didn't tell you to write it in scientific notation, that would be 1, 4, 3, 6, and then 15 zeros. So your calculator probably gave it to you in scientific notation, actually, because the calculator cannot give you an answer with 18 zeros. It wouldn't fit on the screen. That's a huge volume, isn't it? And that's an example of why we need to know scientific notation in real life. Number 6, an ice cream cone has a diameter of 3 inches. The distance from the top of the cone to the point at the bottom, which is the height, is 5 inches. How many cubic inches of ice cream will the cone hold? Press pause and work out the volume of this cone. All right, our formula is 1/3 times pi times radius squared times height. So 1/3 times 3.14 or pi times our radius is 1.5. Be very careful, read very carefully. If they give you the diameter, you have to find the radius. And then times our height of 5, our answer is 11.8 cubic inches. All right, awesome job today, guys. Using those formulas, which basically create an equation to solve an equation to find the volume of cylinders, cones, and spheres. Our assignment for this week is 13.03a in USA Test Prep. Please make sure you are working on any missing assignments that you have. We know we have a game plan for the rest of the year, so it is a great time for you to get all caught up so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff any longer for this school year. So keep up the hard work, everyone. Make sure to reach out, send me an email if you have any questions or concerns, and I will be happy to help you out. Bye, guys.